guys, how's it going? Today we are going to be doing some pond maintenance. Perfect day for it. It's supposed to be 103 degrees today, so it'll feel good to be in and near and around water. Here's a little look at where we're going to be. Oh, it's just such a beautiful, beautiful spot. Just listen to that. So peaceful. I'll walk down and show you the whole thing here in a second. My plan is to start on one end of the pond and work my way to the other end and just work on plant maintenance. I need to do some grooming. I need to pull some plants out altogether. There are a couple of plants in the high tunnel that I might pop in, so we'll just see how it goes. And then Aaron is grabbing the power washer. He's out and about getting his stuff ready, and he's going to power wash the edges of the rocks. Let's take a bit of a closer look here. So you can see these right here. These are forget-me-nots, and they do have a little bit of green growth, a lot of green algae around them, but it's not horrid, you guys. It is getting better. You can see to the bottom without a bunch of algae in a lot of different spots, but like the plants, that needs to be either removed or groomed up, make it look better. The iris, there's some, I don't know the name of all these plants, but I do know these are iris. They need to be groomed. They've got a lot of kind of yucky looking leaves on them. Oh, I love this spot right here. See, Aaron is going to be power washing all of this string algae off like the shallow spots. And we are going to try to capture a couple of the tilapia and put them up in the upper pool. Greg recommended us do that, as well as power wash the edges of the stones, just as like a little bit of midsummer maintenance. Now here's a couple koi right up here, and like right in here. Like you can see all the way to the bottom. You can see the stones down there. There's a little water skipper, and there's baby fish everywhere. The lilies are beautiful. I've got a cypress that's just completely laying down, so I'm gonna see if I can right that and get it anchored a little bit better. I also got myself a new pair of chest waders. I ordered these online and they fit, like the shoes fit my feet. So they're much more comfortable than the first pair I had. Which I don't know if you remember my experience this spring when I was gonna get in and do some maintenance, and I put my foot inside the chest waders and I could feel like debris at the bottom of the shoe, and they smelled off. They smelled weird. And when I dumped the debris out, like I took them off immediately and dumped the debris out, it was a bunch of mouse poop, and it threw me. I threw them away. I mean, just like torch them. I just could not wear them after that point. So I'm excited to have a pair that actually is more comfortable to move around in. I don't know if you can see the babies swimming around in there. Probably freaking them out. But there's little baby, they're probably mosquito fish, I'm guessing. There's another koi. Few more koi right there. The tilapia hang out mainly down in this spot. But yeah, look at this. I need to pull all these plants right here. These plants will look pretty when they're maintained. Yeah, most of the tilapia, the light is reflecting weird this morning, so you can't really see. You'll be able to see here in a little bit, but they're hanging out kind of toward the bottom. The lilies are starting to do their job and fill in. Everything around it's looking really good. Are you ready for this?
You're looking good.
Hey, I know. It's a fashion statement, but they fit.
So did you explain what we're gonna do?
Yep.
Cool.
Just power wash, right?
Well, yeah, that, and I want to get 3 or 4, I'm gonna attempt, I'll put the bibs on like you, and then I want to attempt to get 3 or 4 tilapia and put them in the upper falls.
And you don't think they'll come down the waterfall? I guess it doesn't matter if they do.
Well, Dalton at Oahe
Snake River.
Aquatics or something like that. He mentioned that they don't love like the shallowest part, and so they may not even venture toward the waterfall.
Okay.
Because it kind of gets shallower and shallower until you get to the waterfall.
Right.
So they'll probably hang out in the deeper part anyway. But anyway, if they fall down the waterfall, they'll just be back in here anyway.
Sure.
I don't think
it's like a tiny waterfall. It won't hurt them.
I don't think they'll get hurt.
No. And this is our only project for today. I usually try to tackle multiple things, but I think we're gonna just get what we can get done until we are miserable from the heat. Like right now, I feel like I'm in a sauna. I need to get in the water because these waders are making me so hot, and it's not even hot out yet. Anyway, we're gonna try to capture as much of this clean out process as we can for you guys, and then we'll take a look when we are all done. Okay. Oh, all the cool water feels so good. The only thing about these waders that are different from my last pair is my last pair had like built-in like cushy spots, knee pads, so they were really comfortable on all the rocks, and I don't have that in these. So I have a kneeling pad standing by in case I need it, but this is all I'm going to use. I've got this little trug. It floats on the water, so it makes it handy to have in here, and my Felcos. So yeah, look at this. Ooh, this is gonna be a little bit satisfying, I think. It's cleaning up pretty easy. It stinks. This is not a case where you want smell-o-vision. There's sometimes I wish you guys could smell the flowers that are around me and such, but not today. One other thing I was just thinking as I was clouding up the water over here, I'll probably wait until either like later this evening or tomorrow, because we are going to make this water look bad. You know, roughing all this stuff up is really good for the water, really good for the pond, but it clouds it up for just a little bit while, you know, it takes a while for it to settle. So I'll wait till all the cloudiness is settled, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterward. I need to tie this to myself somehow. It needs a leash or it's gonna float away.
I got one! Okay, how do I get out quickly? I got one!
Oh, we got one.
That's a tilapia, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Here, let me.
Daddy, you got a tilapia! Don't kill
Run,
it!
Paul, run!
Oh, looks like they got another tilapia, you guys. Here it comes. Paul's are running. Nice. Oh, that's a big one. I just saw the other one. Ooh, there it goes. Okay, first level is done as far as plant grooming goes. Things look a lot better. Oh my goodness. Just seeing no brown leaves. They look so much more fresh. And honestly, the water over here is already cleared. I mean, there's still some algae, but like where we started and I really mucked up the water right there, it's already settled. And I think the tilapia are under this rock. There are now 3 of them up here, and a couple of them have ventured out, but they're probably a little bit freaked out at the moment. So it'll be good for me to get down into the next level. So right down in here, we've got a few more iris. Kind of nice, it's compartmentalized. Aaron is down in the main reservoir, still trying to catch tilapia. One more. They are fast and they're getting harder to see because the more you mess around in there, the cloudier the water gets. Then you can't see anything. Something smells like cotton candy right here. Oh, it's your cereal. I thought it was the plants. I knew it wasn't me. All right, guys, all the plants have been groomed at this point. Aaron got in with a bucket and got a bunch of string algae out, and Paul is power washing at the moment. But he's kind of up at the starting point. He's got quite a ways to work down the pond yet to be done. So it's definitely something I'll come back out tomorrow after all of it's cleaned up and the water has settled to show you the end result. But overall, I mean, look at how the water is just mucked up. Overall, seeing the plants all cleaned up is really quite nice. Let me walk you down this way. Oh my goodness, like that whole patch of iris was so gross. I got all the algae from in the middle of them, all the brown leaves. Pulled out some plants altogether, like the forget-me-nots that were right here. The fish are already coming up and exploring the nooks and crannies, but you can see how being in the pond and then also the power washer working up in the top level, what it does to the water down here. So all the way down here is the filter, and that will be working overtime to catch everything. But I'm just so happy with how the plants look now, and I've got 3 more that I want to put in the pond. 2 of them are quite tropical looking, which is not something I really wanted to do in this pond, but I think it's going to be a fun experiment. So right here in the back of the gator, we've got 2 of these, is it Calicasia? Elephant's ear, is that what the botanical name is? How come I cannot remember? Yeah, Calicasia. So we've got coffee cups right here. They call it coffee cups because you can see this more cupped leaf. They kind of hold water when it rains, and it's really pretty. And these will grow upwards of 5 feet. And then we've got this one called Heart of the Jungle. Again, another 5-footer, but look at the size of these leaves. We're going to remove all the soil and sketch looking leaves, and we're gonna pop them in the pond just to see what they do. And then we've also got a Queen Tut grass right here, which we use in containers, but they apparently love to be in water as well. So we are gonna remove soil on all 3 of these and pop them in. Okay, I'm gonna start off by removing whatever soil I can with my hands. These are rooted in. Oh, which is gonna be hardly anything. Okay, I'm gonna give it a good rinse. This is mostly roots, so that'll be easy. That one's ready. Oh, same thing here. Lots of roots. One more. Ooh, this is nice. Nice shallow root ball on that one. Perfect. So the thing about these Calicasias is they do not like or cannot withstand a ton of wind. So I'm gonna actually tuck them both in on this end of the pond because the wind has to make it through tons of different plants to make it to this spot. So even though in the end it might feel like these are maybe even a little too much to be both here, I think it'll be best for the plant. So this is the heart of the jungle. And what I'm gonna do is just remove some rocks from the base. And then we sink the root ball in and then put the rocks back over the top of the root ball. That's it, that was easy. Woo, this water's dirty. Okay, so this next one, actually it looks really pretty right there, doesn't it? So if we move the rock, let me get a better position here. There. Boom. Another rock around it. Perfect. Oh, and you guys, look at that. There's Clint. He's dropping off some road mix for the pathways behind the stream. Yay! Ah. Oh boy. Uh-oh, I dropped you in the water. Whoops. Ah. Uh-oh, we're fritzing out. GoPros are supposed to be able to withstand water. I turned the other camera off just in case. Okay, this one is gonna go right in here, I think. Let's try it out. Right in there. Well, that worked beautifully. Look at that. Perfect. And look at our calicasias. They look beautiful by our stump. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The coffee cups. So you can see that where these elephant's ear ended up, they have to go through, or the wind rather has to go through lots of layers. Like the Russian sage right there is blocking it. As is, the next layer is the grass with the Joe's Best bristlecone pine and then all the other stuff. So I think of all the spots in this whole pond, this is probably the most protected little nook. And I honestly think that this is going to be the spot where these plants would be the most happy in our entire landscape. Because one, the protection, two, the amount of moisture. They're not going to be competing with for anything in a flower bed or a container. I don't have to find water compatible stuff to go with them. So this is just going to be really fun. I'm excited about it. All right, so at this point, Paul's just going to continue doing his thing with the power washer. And I think that it's a nice project for everybody today. Like, save all the water projects for a really hot day. And then we'll come back out here either later this evening or tomorrow morning and we'll take a look at how everything came out from this whole project. All right, guys, it is a new day. A little breezy out this morning, but it feels wonderful and things are looking so great out here. So we're gonna start right up here at the beginning of the stream because this is where we were yesterday. You can see that Paul got all of the algae off of the waterfall. And as you look down in here, the goal wasn't to get all the algae out from the interior. It was just to power wash all the edges of the stone and get that kind of fuzzy stuff that's really hard to remove without the power washer removed. I can see a tilapia up there. I think they managed to get 4. Here's another one right here. It's just chilling. They were kind of freaked out yesterday after we moved them, but they're really friendly fish, which is not something that I expected. I kind of thought that they were going to be a little bit more wild, but they'll come and nibble on your fingers just like the koi will. So they don't go running or swimming away really fast when you approach. Whoop. Yeah, there is a little hidey spot. Do you see that other one right there? It's like right in the crack of the 2 rocks. Right under that leaf that's about the same color as the fish. Anyway, it looks so good. I know it's kind of hard to see in the shade with the reflection, but this right here is where there were those partially dead forget-me-nots. So I removed most of them and thought, well, if there is still life in these roots, then we'll let them spring back fresh and remove some of the algae from this spot. Go down this way. There were some iris that I almost just cut back completely, but I think I only ended up doing it with 1. And then there were a couple that were really thick and there was a lot of good growth in them, but there was also quite a lot of brown. So I got the bulk of it and then just left the rest. And those are the ones toward the end when I was getting more tired. But seeing all of these plants looking so fresh is so nice. Oh my goodness. Okay, then down this way, the falls are looking much better. Oh, there's a tilapia right there. I wonder if that's one of our ones. Who knows? Looking so good. Coming down this direction. Oh my goodness, those lilies look so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There's one of the koi. Well, that one's looking a little, the cypress. So this cypress really took hold. That cypress was kind of leaned over. I kind of attached it or replanted it and trimmed it. And then this one, I want to trim that one or just remove it completely. See, it's kind of like this really tall, kind of gangly thing. I was waiting for more growth lower down the branch so that I could lop it off and make it a little bit more, I don't know, appropriately sized for that space, but we'll see. These really shallow spots where the water is a little bit more still are usually an algae magnet. So we did do some cleaning here. It is looking a little bit more clear. I mean, the fact that you can see even just some of the little gravel is pretty amazing. And there's just baby fish everywhere. I don't know if you can see them darting around in there. Here comes a koi. Look at that water. Thankfully, water clarity has never really been an issue. Just the string algae. Okay, moving on. Yeah, see this one right here? It's just so long and gangly. And I got it replanted down in there a little bit more firmly so it's not leaning all the way over. Like yesterday, it was laying on this rock right here. But we'll just see what happens with that one. And then the edges of these rocks looking so much better. This little section was pretty rough looking plant-wise, so that's looking better. Removed some plants completely. There were a couple of forget-me-nots right here that were pretty much gone. So I just removed those and that made it look much, much better. And this area, my goodness, we have like a corkscrew rush, I think is what it's called. And I never cut it back last year because I wasn't sure what to do with it. I probably should have cut it back in the spring. There was a lot of good growth in there, but there was a lot of last year's dead growth and it would have taken me forever to cut that back. So I just cut the whole thing down and hopefully it will re-energize it and we'll see a whole bunch of new growth here soon. Mosquitoes are horrible out here this morning. But there was a creeping Jenny in there that I didn't remove the roots, but I removed all of the growth so that it wasn't choking out everything right there. This is one of the iris that I did not take after completely, but it looks a lot better than it did before I started the grooming process. There's some of the koi right there. This part is kind of hard to see in the morning with the reflection. It looks like it has a little bit of settling to do still in this location. But Paul, I think, already came out here and did his rounds. He usually comes out and checks the filter and he messes with the algae a little bit in the morning. So that's possible too. That could have happened right here and kind of roughed it back up. Look at that lily flower, so beautiful. And just seeing the lilies look a little bit more fresh without all the tattered lily pads is really nice. There's our queen tut that we installed. I'm gonna say hi to the fish real quick. There they are. We haven't been feeding them pretty much all year. I mean, here and there because of the algae, so they're not as warmed up to us. This dude's my favorite though. Hi. Oh. And this one right here, the gold one, kids call her Goldie, and she flips her tail usually at you and splashes you with water. Hey Russell. Hey buddy. Glorious Russian sage. And here are the 2 elephant ears we planted. I hope they're going to be so happy right here. They're beautiful. Oh, I'm just very, very happy with it. Those falls look really good too. It's a little bird up there. Gonna get a drink. Oh. The amount of wildlife that a water feature like this brings in is just absolutely insane, and something that like I had always been told but I never had experienced. But it's so much fun to see everything. I mean, all of the insects that come in and around, the huge dragonflies. We've got bright blue ones and then these great big black ones that come around. In fact, they're right now probably hard to film, but they are just flying around everywhere right now. We've got lots of mosquitoes to eat, but the birds too, the amount of birds especially that come in, and Benjamin loves that because he's completely enamored with birds right now, and it's so cute because he calls them all by their proper name. So if you say, oh Benjamin, there's a robin, he's like, that's an American robin. Or if you see a dove, it's a Eurasian collared dove. Like, get it right, Mom. It's one of those things that I thought he would be into, you know, for a little bit and then just kind of lose interest in, but he is into it. And he told me, Mom, we're gonna have to go travel to different places because I need to get more birds in my collection in the Merlin app. He really wants to go to North Carolina to visit his aunt and get more birds, and then also to Alaska because he thinks he could get so many birds that we can't get here, which he's probably right. Anyway, pond maintenance day was amazing, and it was a perfect perfect project to do on a day that got so darn hot. And then last night it kind of got overcast and it was very muggy. Today it's supposed to be like 97 and then we go down to 90 and then back up into the hundreds. So I mean, overall for one of our summers, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, last year I think we were above 105, where like hovered right around 105 for 30 plus days in a row. That was rough. But being able to get in here, even with those chest waders, you can feel the cool water around you. And even though the top half of you feels the heat from the sun, it kind of regulates you, to be in the water. And it's just kind of a peaceful thing to do. I really enjoyed it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.